Hello, this is Angie. Getting ready to share with you all about Module 2. So hang on here. Just going to share the screen. And sorry about that. Hang on. And I'm going to stop my video so you don't have to look at my mug. And here we go. Awesome. All right. So welcome to week 2. I hope you are still as excited as you were when we started. Module 2, now from now on, Module 2 through Module 12, we will have 4 pillars, if you will, to every week. And the first one will always be a mindset. Then it will be a nutrition nugget. Then I'll give you some exercise options and ideas. And then finally, a stress reduction portion. Because as you'll find out in this section, stress really does affect your health in so many ways, including weight gain. All right. I loved this quote. It's perfect with our mindset setup, but don't let your mind bully your body, by June Tommaso Wood. So true. I just want to, I know I've said this before, but again, my theory of slow drip information, I'm just giving you information slowly so you can just incorporate all these things I'm asking you to do slowly into your routine to create a whole lifestyle change. And that's the whole idea. It's not a one and done thing. It's not a checklist. Okay, I've got that done. I've did this mindset thing. Now I move on. No, it's constant. We want you to just change your habits, because that's what will create lasting change. That's my goal for you, is for you to reach your goals, whatever they may be. Most people are losing weight. But I want it to last for you. I don't want it to be, okay, I lost weight in these 12 weeks, and then you put it all back on. So that's the whole idea of how we're moving into this slowly. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to overcome barriers and blocks in mindset, and you're going to rewrite some history. Then in nutrition, we're going to talk about water intake, breakfast, and setting up your kitchen. I'm going to introduce key components to exercise with you and setting up your home gym, talk about workout apparel, and as well as a workout start for you. And then stress, we need to educate you about stress. I'm going to give you a stress assessment and some ways to counter those stresses with some responses. All right, so we are going to start with overcoming mental blocks. When you bring peace to your past, you can move forward to your future, and that is so true. We're building from last week, where last week you were creating affirmations and you were avoiding self-talk and creating new self-talk. So I want you to keep doing those things, all right? Keep catching yourself in those negative thought moments and change them to the positive self-talk. We're going to move on to the memories that you've had in your past. So barriers and blocks form from memories that you have had lodged in your subconscious mind years ago. And you probably didn't even realize it, but you've been feeding those first memories. You've been feeding them these thoughts to create these self-limiting beliefs. And so, for example, mine was when I was in kindergarten and playing t-ball. I remember, taking a team picture, and then when we got the picture back, because in those days you had to wait, they were printed, I remember seeing myself as a chubby little girl compared to everyone else. And that was my first body image memory. And without even knowing it, I fed that thought and supported it all throughout my life. So the first question for you is, what was your first body image? I want you to think back. Maybe you weren't as young as kindergarten. Maybe you were a little bit older. But just go back to that memory and see what it was. And then, here it is. And think back to what thoughts that have supported that. So for me, I remember then throughout my life, I remember playing with my cousin. We would play dress up. She fit into all the dress up clothes and I didn't. Well, we were playing dress up clothes with my mom's old clothes. My mom is a completely different body than I am. She's only 5'4", I'm 5'8", and she's just very petite. I'm not. So I didn't realize at the time, but I fed that seed, the thought of I'm just bigger, I'm big boned or whatever. Even in playing sports in high school, my dad was not being mean when I tell you this story. He just always called me Moose in volleyball and basketball. He yelled out Moose. And what he meant by that was I was everywhere. Wherever the ball was, I was there, and I was pretty aggressive with the ball. So I was just kind of in the way all the time, but I also took it as, yeah, I'm just big. I'm big like a moose. So the next part of this mindset is I want you to now write a positive replacement statement for it. So knowing your limiting beliefs is the first step. And then now to move forward, I want you to write all the things that you said about yourself. So like for me, I'm chubby, I'm round, I'm big boned, I'm clumsy, I'm fat. I don't know. Then I want you to change it to I am slim, I am strong. This is I was comparing myself to other people that had completely different body styles as myself. So it's just kind of getting real with becoming rational with those irrational thoughts. All right. What are we on here? Okay. So next then, this part was very powerful for me, but I want you now to rewrite history, but also go to that little girl or little boy and be the parent or the teacher or the coach that maybe you didn't have or didn't get. And no fault of that. We are not blaming parents or teachers here. We are just giving that little boy, that little girl, the compassion and the understanding and the acceptance that she needs. All right. So I want you to rewrite your story and go ahead and use the rest of this page and use more paper if you'd like, but go into detail about that first body image scene. What was the weather like? Who was all there? What were you wearing? What was that little girl wearing? And I want you to be that parent to that little girl and talk to her and tell her how she is accepted and she's loved for who she is, and show warmth and tenderness, so that you can just experience a new history. It is possible to experience a new history. This was very powerful for me when I did this. I didn't realize how much my little self needed compassion and love. So I hope it is a good one for you as well. It's all about self-love, starting from when you were little. All right, we are going to move on to nutrition. So of course, we're going to start with your water intake. You need to consume the right amount of water. And I know none of us get the right amount of water. I now do, because I finally went out and bought myself a 64-ounce insulated cup. I got it at Target. And so now if I drink 2 of those, it's just a mindset thing, right? Then I've reached my goal. So do whatever you need to do. That's my tool. But you need to make sure you drink enough water, and don't allow yourself to drink anything else until the amount of water you need to drink is done. So I say it does not include soda, tea, vitamin water, coffee, just regular water. And make sure you get enough of it. You will be surprised how your body will crave it. You will actually, at first it'll seem like a lot, but after a few days, your body will really crave and want that water. So it's a good start. All right. Eating breakfast. It really is the most important meal of the day. So many of my clients skip breakfast. Well, they skip meals in general, but they think that that's a good way of saving calories. And it's quite the opposite. So let me share with you some of the benefits. Breakfast gets the gut going for the day. And this is true. Studies show that people who begin the day with a balanced breakfast, which includes protein, carbs, and fiber, tend to eat less junk food during the day. A healthy breakfast talks to the body and tells it how to eat for the rest of the day. So if you start your day right, the rest of your day will most likely go better. It jumpstarts your brain. Who doesn't want that? It revs up your metabolism and perks up your body and brain, preparing them for the day. Keeps you lean. Yes, that's the whole reason you're here. And you may think skipping a meal will help you lose weight, but it's wrong. It's just the opposite. By front loading, you prepare your body for the rest of the day. And it's really spreading out all those calories. You know, you probably eat the same amount of calories whether you eat breakfast or not. But if you skip breakfast, then you're ravenous by lunchtime or afternoon, and then you'll probably eat as many calories and more. Breakfast skippers actually eat more, okay, I just said it, before or during the day, getting more weight, and generally have a higher incidence of heart disease and itis illnesses. So, including diabetes. That's like arthritis and what's another itis? What can I think right now? I think I need to drink more water or something. I cannot think. All right, we'll just move on. Okay, so you probably are wondering, great, just give me the goods. I want to know what some healthy kind of combinations are. So any of the smoothies I listed in the last module, of course, I want you to do smoothies, the sipping solution, 3 to 4 times a week. That is sort of the signature move here in Getting Naked Again Rocks. But then on the other days, you can choose any of these. Yogurt with berries and slivered almonds. I had someone ask me if flavored yogurt worked, and I say no to that. You need to look at the sugar content of flavored yogurt. Usually it's very high. You can do scrambled eggs. You know, instead of making scrambled eggs with butter, use a little olive oil for the healthy oil. You can have whole grain toast with that. I'm not going to read them all to you. You can see them here, and they are all in your packet too. But there's a lot of ideas here. You can hard boil or soft boil eggs. You can do all 12 eggs on Sunday night, and then you have, well, that would be a lot of eggs. You know, do 6 eggs on Sunday night, and then you have some to-go breakfast for you for the rest of the week, all ready to go. This is my favorite, peanut butter and banana slices on whole grain English muffin. And steel cut oats, I do this a lot. You can make steel cut oats in the crock pot the night before, because if you wait and do it in the morning, steel cut oats take 45 minutes to an hour to cook on the stove. So heck, do it the night before and you are ready to go in the morning. It's a great thing. All right, moving on to setting up the kitchen. So in the next module after this one, I'm going to tell you how to shop and what to buy. Not everything. I'm just starting slow. So I really want you to think about getting your kitchen organized. You probably are rolling your eyes actually when I tell you this, but it's going to make shopping so much easier for you because, okay, for me, the worst part of grocery shopping is bringing all the groceries home and putting them away. It really is. But I found that if I clean out my fridge and my pantry before I go to the grocery store, coming home from the grocery store is so much easier. And my crisper drawers are empty and clean and ready to receive all of my fresh fruits and veggies. My pantry has been cleaned out, and so I basically just place the new food in there. Just get in the habit of cleaning things out once a week before you go shopping. But right now I want you to throw out expired food, and purchase some of these small appliances if you don't already have one. You do not, I just bought a juicer. I've been doing this health gig for a long time. I just bought a juicer 2 months ago. That's a big expense. You don't have to. I still don't have a spiralizer. I use a paring knife, whatever tool to spiralize some of my noodles. But of course, you'll need a blender, a really good set of knives. If you want to get a food processor, that is really helpful to make healthy foods and dips and things. I am still in the process of getting rid of some of my nonstick cookware. When Paul and I got married and we combined everything, he had a lot of the nonstick cookware, and it's hard for him to get rid of it. So, it's a work in progress. I use my coffee. We have 2 coffee grinders, one for coffee beans and the other one for grinding spices and nuts and seeds and things. So that's why that's in there. Salad spinner, they are not expensive, and that is the way to go, because after you clean lettuce leaves, it is hard to get all that water off. Anyway, but then you'll be ready to go for next week, and it won't be so overwhelming. Again, the drip formula. All right, so that's it for nutrition. We're going to move on to exercise, starting very basic here. Just want to give you the 4 key components of exercise, which is cardio. That's to get your heart rate up. That is walking, running, jogging, swimming, jumping rope, anything that gets your heart rate up. All right, that's what we call cardio. Strength, of course, is weights, bands, the ball workout. You can do a ball workout with strength. Also body weight exercises like squats and lunges and push-ups. That would fall under the strength category. Of course, flexibility and elongating those muscles. And then as we age, balance becomes very important. And so I'm going to be sharing I'm going to cover all of these components as we go throughout the 12 weeks. For now, though, what I want you to do is write down what you enjoy doing outside. Or in whatever you enjoy doing as far as activity goes. What is it? Think about it. Do you play golf? That counts. Now, if you drive and ride in the cart the whole time, maybe don't ride up right to the ball. Make yourself walk a little bit more. Do you enjoy walking at the mall, or just walking in your neighborhood? Walking the dog? Playing with your kids, maybe you swim, mowing the lawn. That is working, that is moving, that is exercise. So I want to make sure for this week only that you're getting 150 minutes of movement every week. And that averages out to be about 20 minutes a day. That's 7 days a week though. Or if you need to take a day off, that would be 5 or 6 days a week for 30 minutes. So move for 20 to 30 minutes every day doing something. Get in that pool if you can't walk. Move. Just move. 150 minutes. All right. So that's your exercise for this week. We will continue as the weeks go on. I add a little bit more. All right. So you have no excuses. You may be a member somewhere at a gym, but I want you to have a gym at home too, as well, because there are some days you just don't want to drive to the gym or you can't make it. So then no excuses here. I need you to get 5, 8, and 10 pound weights. Now, for guys, you probably want to get a 12 and 15 pounds as well, just because you will. I need 12 and 15 myself, so I've moved up. A resistance band. Get the ones with handles. My last group got the wrong bands. A few of them did. So I'm checking that in the module to make sure I get a link for you with the correct bands with handles, okay? I like spree, and then you get to choose your resistance. There is green is the easiest, then red, then blue, then purple is the most difficult. So just as the thicker the band gets, the more difficult it is. And then a stability ball, which is one of those big balls that you can sit on. And you want to make sure it's when it's all blown up that when you sit on it, your knees will be able to bend at a 90-degree angle. So that's all you need to get right now. Later on, I will introduce some foam rolling. So if you want to get a foam roller, you can do that. I just didn't want to overwhelm you right away. The foam rolling doesn't come till about week 8, I believe it is. All right. So then also you want to make sure you look good while you exercise. So make sure you get all of the things you need for exercising. And I liked this quote: be picky with your clothes, your friends, and your time. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, the whole point here is I was the director of a sports and rec facility for 8 years. And I saw people come in to work out in the gym in jeans, belts, and kids' shoes. And I just wrote, sometimes I didn't even have tennis shoes on. Kids, they had regular, shoes that you would wear to work or church. That is you're going to injure yourself if you don't have proper wear. So you need a superb pair of running shoes. Don't mess with cross trainers or walkers. You can if that's what you have and you like and they fit well, but honestly, running shoes are going to be your best bet. They are more cushiony. They have more room for your toes to spread out typically, and they're just better quality. If you can go to one of those professional running stores so they can look at your gait and measure your foot, that would be the most beneficial for you. I understand, though, they're very expensive, so do what you can, but I will tell you this: go a half size bigger than what you normally wear. So many people are wearing too small of exercise shoes, and when you're exercising, your toe and your toenail will automatically hit the top part of your shoe, and then that just creates friction, and you need room to move. Okay, it's not a shoe that you're wearing to go out. You're exercising, you're working, so you need that extra room. So make sure you get big enough shoes. And then, of course, the rest is obvious. Comfortable shorts or yoga pants with elastic waistbands. Please don't wear belts. Wicking material, anything cotton, breathable is good. Women, make sure you get a good sports bra that fits. Just so you don't injure yourself. I'm thinking of your comfort. And then get good pair of socks. Don't buy thin, non-absorbent socks, okay? If you're at the running store already, they're going to have some good socks there. So go ahead and get yours. I like Reebok. I like Thorlo. Those are the ones I have right now. But yeah, just make sure you have good absorbent socks as well. All right. Done with exercise. Moving on to the last column, which is stress, also known as the hurry sickness. Okay. I thought that was interesting. It's the balance between what you have to do and the resources that you have to do them with. That means that something that might be stressful on Monday may not be stressful on Tuesday when you have lots of time. So it's not how much stress you have, it's how often you feel stress. And then what skills do you have to deal with the stress? And it becomes a problem when the demands on your time and energy go on day after day without let up. And you have a problem when you wake up tired and have a headache first thing in the morning. So your body is going through that fight or flight response that that our ancestors had in order to survive. But what's happening now is that fight or flight response is becoming activated when there's an angry boss, or there are bills to be paid, or there's a traffic jam. You have rude teenagers, rude customer service, work deadlines, health issues. It's all that indirect stress that it's still causing you to have that fight or flight response, and there's no let up, and your cortisol levels are rising, and that makes you keep the weight on, and it affects your heart, and it affects your cardiovascular system. It does so much to your body that we really need to get our stress under control. Oh, I like this too. It's not who's the happiest, but who's the busiest. That's kind of a claim of distinction for people in today's society. And so we all just need to slow down, breathe, and get some tools to fight, to reduce that stress and fight it. So some of the symptoms that happen in your body are, again, high blood pressure, unable to sleep, body aches, headaches, chronic susceptibility to colds and flu, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, weight gain, heart palpitations. You're irritable, your muscles tense up, you get an upset stomach, diabetes. So it really is a killer. And each of us have different symptoms too that come with stress. I mean, it could be a twitching eye, it could be clammy hands, sweating, irritability, even, I'll tell you what, even people with nothing to do, people that perhaps just have too much time on their hands, that's a form of stress. That's stressful to have nothing to do, as a matter of fact. So it affects all of us. Where's my next slide? So let's look at this. Maybe I've already said stuff that this next slide already does. Oh, okay. So in this stress, in the workbook, you are going to be able to assess your stress levels. And I've included 2 assessments for you. One is the Holmes-Rahe scale, and it measures the significant life events. The other one is a Hassel test. It's a Hassel test, Hassel index, because daily hassles stress us out more in the long run than major events. So things like misplacing things, losing your keys, not having enough money for your clothes, if you have trouble relaxing, again, too much time on your hands, maybe your relatives live far away, or there's forms you have to fill out, there's a stack of mail and paperwork that you have to get to. This is all a form of hassle that they're saying can maybe stress us out more in the long run than major life events. So, and then in the major life events one, just being married, it's 50 points. I think it's a 300-point scale. I can't even remember. A score of 300 or more indicates extreme amount of energy is being used for social readjustment behaviors. So just being married is 50 points. A change in the health of a family member, not even the change in health of yourself, is 44 points. If you simply have a mortgage over 50,000, I think it is 10,000. No, a mortgage over 10,000 is 51 points. So you need a lot of these. You're going to have automatic points just for being you, but it is stressful. Anyway, so take that assessment, and then we're going to go into responses. And the sources of stress include. I have it could be an environment that's too noisy. Maybe you have too many demands on you. Maybe you're frustrated with things not being done your way. Maybe you just have unpleasant memories of the past. All of these can contribute to your stress. Then your responses, again, I already kind of mentioned this, but your responses everyone has different responses to stress, but I don't think maybe you realize that when you have clammy hands, that's a sign of stress, or that when you have sleep disturbances, that's kind of an obvious one. That's a bad example. Maybe your inability to focus, your attention, you don't realize is a stress response. So I've listed those in the workbook, but heart palpitations, shortness of breath, even allergies and frequent colds is a sign that you maybe have too much stress in your life. So it's just good to be aware of that and to know that it's damaging your health. And over the next 12 weeks, we're going to give you a lot of stress reduction stress busters. I used to teach a class at the church called Stress Buster Bible Study. So I've kind of become an expert on stress, and I did that for many, many years. It was more Bible-based, though, and if you're interested in any of that, just let me know. I have a lot on what Jesus did to combat stress. It's right there in the Bible. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I digress, and we want to go on to your courses of action. What can you do today, this week, with some of your stresses? So I want you to write down your top 3 stressors from your assessment. Perhaps you figured that out. Perhaps you already know what they are without doing the assessments. And you have 3 courses of action. You can avoid, alter, or adapt. And I think I can go to the next one. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, we're just going to start with avoid. You just need to ask yourself some questions. If you want to avoid something, can you avoid someone who constantly aggravates you? Can you just leave the situation? I have an example for you. I was in a part-time job where I was taking care of a special needs girl, and the parents became very, very difficult to work with. It wasn't her. It was becoming clearer and clearer that the parents were just not right. And nothing I did was right. And it was very stressful for me. And I had to leave that job. It was painful. It hurt, but I knew it was causing me to not sleep well. It was causing me I couldn't eat before I went to go pick up her, and things like that. So I had to avoid and leave the situation. Another example then is altering the situation. Can you communicate your feelings to someone? Can you talk to your spouse about leaving the toilet seat up or down? Can you talk to your kids about helping with the dishes? Is constantly having dirty dishes in the sink driving you mad? Can you communicate your feelings? Or can you change the environment? Can you write? Maybe you need to just write that family member or that friend a letter to tell him or her how you feel, to maybe alter the situation and be positively assertive. And it says it in here, but anticipate what might happen after you do that, after you communicate openly, because you'll want to mentally imagine what you will say after their response. All right. So just make sure you prepare yourself for some of these difficult conversations you may have to have. And then finally is adapting and learning to tolerate the situations as best you can. So can you change your thinking? I've used this 10-10-10 rule that I've written here in the workbook many times with not only myself and my kids, but with when I was the director of a basketball league, I had to use it with parents a lot. Is this really going to matter? You can do 10 days, 10 months, 10 years. You can do 10 minutes. 10 minutes from now. Is this really going to matter 10 minutes from now? Most of the time, when I asked a parent if their child losing a game, I asked them in 10 minutes, is this going to matter? Because usually in 10 minutes, the child is on to the next thing. They are in a video game. They are going to a birthday party. They are wanting to get a popsicle or something like that. So, just by breaking it down, is this situation or is this going to matter 10 minutes from now, 10 days from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now? Losing a basketball game they're not even going to remember they were in a basketball league 10 years from now. So simple things too. Being late for work. Is it really going to matter 10 days from now that you were a little bit late for work? Probably not. Maybe you got a speeding ticket. Is that going to matter even 10 minutes after it happened? No, not really. Yeah, you have a ticket to pay, but it's not going to matter. So just kind of that 10-10-10 rule is really good. Can you change your actions and slow down, talk to someone, work a hobby, and relax, exercise. I want you to keep this in your bag of tricks and in your pocket, because I hope that you'll refer to these courses of action for stress as often as a stressful situation comes up. I have this memorized: avoid, alter, adapt. I'm in a blended family, and there are some things that stress me out that I have no control over. So I usually choose the top one: avoid. I just need to avoid it, because otherwise it's going to drive me crazy. So I have it in my head: avoid, alter, adapt. Which one? Avoid, alter, adapt. Which one? And just go with it. So I'm hoping this is helpful to you. Let me know on the Facebook group if it is helpful. And the last slide is an acronym for stress. Someone trying to repair every situation solo. Anyway, that is it for today, and have a great week. Thank you.